FBI Director Christopher Wray testified on Capitol Hill Wednesday about the investigation into the assassination attempt against former President Donald Trump. His testimony comes days after lawmakers criticized now former Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle in a congressional hearing for her agency's security failures before, during, and after the shooting. She resigned less than 24 hours later. While FBI Director Wray didn't divulge too many details about the investigation, he did offer some new information about the shooter.
Analysis of a laptop that the investigation ties to the shooter reveals that on July 6th, he did a Google search for, quote, "How far away was Oswald from Kennedy?" And so that's a search that obviously is significant in terms of his state of mind. That is the same day that it appears that he registered for the Butler rally.
For more on this, let's bring in Anna Schecter. She's the senior coordinating producer for CBS News Crime and Public Safety Unit. And in addition to that new piece of information, Director Wray revealed a few other details about the gunman. What else did we learn?
Well, we learned that the very next day after that chilling Google search, he went to the rally site and cased it. He spent about 20 minutes there. And then again, the morning of the rally, we learned he went and spent 70 minutes there. So he was really spending a lot of time figuring out, and probably all of that planning helped him get up onto that roof, which is, I think, the big question for everyone watching is how could he have evaded so much law enforcement? But to me, what was really interesting is we learned around 4 p.m., just a couple of hours before that shooting, he flew a drone for 11 minutes over a field near where the rally site was. He was live streaming it, so he was watching in real time the images that the drone was capturing. So he was getting a real clear picture of the area from above, possibly including the roof on top of where that he climbed on and where he took that shot.
And how did the director characterize the search for motive that we've been talking about so much since this attempted assassination? Have they found one? What's the search been like? Did he talk about that?
He did. It was interesting. He talked about how few people were in the contacts list in his phone, fewer than you would expect that other, a 20-year-old would have. He talked about his few interactions in real life with other people. So he really described a loner, which is what we were supposing. But it was interesting to have that level of detail in the testimony today. We also learned a few other things, like he purchased the gun from his father who had bought it. So there was a real transaction there, which was interesting. And a few other details about what he was up to in the week leading up to it. There was a question about this ladder. That was pretty much debunked. He purchased a ladder, but the ladder that he bought was never found on the premises. We do know that he brought a backpack and a bike, and he was sitting at a picnic table. We've learned that from local law enforcement. And local law enforcement was concerned enough about him that they took a photo of him. One of the snipers stationed in the building left the building to go look for him and lost sight of him. So that was all in the confusion of those minutes leading up to him climbing up on the roof with a gun.
Democratic Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal of Washington raised concerns about the political neutrality of the FBI. What was she getting at?
It's a great question. There was a lot of political theater that played out over hours and hours of testimony today, where several Republicans were asking, how can we trust you to conduct this investigation? There was a lot of anger about January 6th amongst some of the lawmakers, and they were questioning the tactics that the FBI used in that investigation. And so what she was doing, I think, is establishing on the record that the FBI is, in fact, neutral. So you saw a lot of back and forth and political theater today.
Not unfamiliar to those kinds of hearings. Anna Schecter, thank you very much.